Hello everyone, Mrs. Prowl here. Welcome back. If you're looking at this music, it means that you have passed your green belt songs. Congratulations to you. And now you're ready to attack some purple belt songs when you record a karate. And we have a new pitch. It is high D. This video will show you what the pitch looks like on the staff, how to label the first song, which is Who's That, and how to play this new pitch on your recorder. I'd like you to note a few things before we move on or get started. Only the new pitch is shown from now on. You've noticed probably that the answer key or the key is missing for B, A, G, low E, and low D because you should really know them by now. We've been using B, A, and G since the very beginning, and E and D had a lot of practice. The next thing I want to remind you of is that at this level you can't test with your notes labeled. Make sure you erase them before you come up and test. And finally, since B, A, G, E, and D are missing, if you've forgotten how to play any of those notes or what they look like on a staff, you can reference this fingering chart, which I handed out with your goal sheet, so it should be with your papers that you got. All right, let's begin. This new pitch looks like this on the staff. It is another note which is on a line. We've still only got one note on a space, which is A, and one note hanging below in what could be a space if there were another line, which is low D. High D is up here. Remember, we have E, G, B, and now D. And see if you can find it here in this piece. We've got this one labeled. Hopefully it didn't trick you that it's a half note or not filled in, whereas this one is filled in. At this point, you should really be able to catch those things and not get tricked by them. So if you're looking through the music, you'll note that there is one other D other than the one I've labeled. So I have a challenge for you. Now that we've labeled our two new notes, the high D, your challenge is to play through this piece without labeling any other pitches and see if you really know A and B and G as well as you should. Also, if you need to label it, there it is, but I'm going to go back one slide and mention why it no longer makes sense to add numbers with our labeling. That's because if you look at this pitch, it's only played with one hole covered in the front. But B is also played with one hole covered in the front. So we've been calling B1. It doesn't make sense now to call B1 because here's another note, which would be a 1, and that would be confusing. So let's go ahead. I've showed you this, which is the complete labeling of Who's That. Like I said, if you accept the challenge, you don't need me to spend any more time on that. So let's move on. And you might be wondering, well, how do I play this new pitch with only one hole covered in the front? First of all, please notice there is no thumb. This is the first song in our series, or our first belt note in our series that does not have the thumb covering. And it does have this second hole covered, and you need to cover that second hole with your middle finger. So if you needed to, you could switch between D and B pretty easily with your first finger down and then your middle finger down. So there you go. That's high D, and I'll see you in another video. Happy practicing.